When all this started, I was kind of wondering, like, what happens to the people that are, with their countries have no interest at all in taking them back? What happens to that? But I also understand that utilizing any type of tariff as some type of bargaining chip to kind of force people to be taken back to their countries, that could be a thing. It could kind of backfire potentially, right? But that could definitely be a thing. Then, obviously, within the last couple of days, we find out that Guantanamo Bay is going to be basically a staging location, a holding location for most likely the ones who are going to be remaining stateless for a little while. And that kind of interested me. So now we have apparently some images of what's kind of going on there. So I think that's incredibly intriguing to encounter. Hopefully that's also intriguing for you guys. So let's go and check it out. This is a suggestion via Discord. Images of Trump's migrant flights to Guantanamo Bay have emerged. Let's do it. Let's check it out.
There's a lot of space to accommodate a lot of people, yeah, so we're going to use it.
President Trump planning to expand Guantanamo Bay to hold up to 30,000 illegal immigrants. This as the first flight of detained migrants landed there yesterday. A senior defense official tells Fox the military jet had 10 migrants on board, and ICE agents are assigned to guard them at the detention facility.
These are the super criminals,
Conference
yeah?
Chair Tom Cotton with reaction coming up. Meantime, Texas is reporting that daily encounters at the border are dropping sharply.
Yeah.
Brooke Taylor has the new numbers from Dallas. Hi, Brooke.
Last time we checked, 94.7%.
Hi, Dana. Yeah, these are the lowest numbers we have seen in years. And when you compare this to what we saw during Biden's final week in office, well, it's even more striking. So on Monday, Texas DPS releasing these new numbers. They had 446 encounters across the southern border, just 98 in El Paso, 58 in the Del Rio sector.
Word is getting
During
out.
Biden's final week, the daily encounters range from 1,200 to 1,400. Well, this decline comes as the first group of Mexican National Guard troops arrived at the border here. Mexico's president has pledged to send a total of 10,000 troops, all in exchange for delaying tariffs. Removal flights,
but only for 30 days, guys.
They are also ramping up. Border Patrol says they took the first military plane filled with illegal migrants to India. This marks the longest deportation flight yet using these military C-17s.
We're doing very well with respect to other countries really behaving on taking the criminals that they sent into our country, and we're getting them out. These are some of the worst people on earth.
As security measures strengthen, well, cartel operations, they are definitely feeling the heat. Just this week, DPS and Border Patrol agents arrested this smuggler who they say has cartel connections.
Whoa,
he was trying to transport 50 pounds of narcotics across the Rio Grande.
It's like a black tar?
And now when asked about whether Border Patrol agents and other soldiers could be hurt by cartel members because of this added security, Border Czar Tom Holman says they have the capability to wipe the cartel off the face of the earth. As to anyone who thinks of doing that, he says, I would not try that, Dana.
All right.
Okay, yeah, so we definitely have the ability, but the problem with our ability to do so, it's going to be somewhat tricky because we'd have to actually invade Mexico. And I'm also not sure that that Mexico would even approve of the concept of us allowing our military troops onto Mexican land. And so that's another intriguing thing, guys. Keep that in mind. We definitely have the ability to do a lot of things, but sparking WW3 may not be the way to do it.
All right, Brooke Taylor, thank you so much.
So we have seen a lot of combined agency efforts in some of these confrontations, and we are watching this play out right now. This is DEA helping DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, serving search warrants at multiple locations in Denver, Colorado. Also, we saw some video from the early hours when it was still dark out of similar operations going on in Denver, similar to what we've seen across the country. We'll keep a close eye on it. And we will continue to report on these developments, but a lot of action with these agencies across the country, and this focused in Denver today.
Okay. Guys, I would definitely love to see Maybe one of you guys could send me a video potentially over on Discord, maybe, of how is the mayor of Denver dealing with this? Because the last thing I basically heard from him is that he was saying, hey, listen, we need to get work permits immediately before Trump gets in office, that type of thing. Because he was completely fine with the influx of migrants hitting the area. The locals actually were not, but the mayor, of course, was similar to the mayor of Chicago, how the locals are not, but the mayor is. It's weird, isn't it? When the mayor works against your interests.
The first flights from the United States to Guantanamo Bay with illegal migrants are underway. President Trump is not messing around.
The Trump administration is starting the process of expanding the migrant detention center at Guantanamo Bay. Let's bring in Senator Tom Cotton, Republican of Arkansas and chair of the Intel Committee. This is President Trump on Guantanamo and why he's using it. Watch.
On Guantanamo Bay, is there enough space there to accommodate?
There's a lot of space to accommodate a lot of people, yeah, so we're going to use it.
Can you talk a little bit
We have
about
it. It's
why?
already up. We have it for nothing. But we can do less expensive and even more secure. We've had other countries come to us saying, we would love to do that. We would love to take your criminals and we'll maintain that. We'll be their jail. And I'm only talking for the most severe cases.
Your take on what's going on down there at Gitmo.
Well, Dana, President Trump is right. Guantanamo Bay is a good place to put these illegal migrants. It's much safer than an American base. It's a large base. I've been there. It has a very modest American presence there, unlike bases here in America where we have large families and training grounds and so forth. There is a detention center in Guantanamo Bay going back to at least the 1990s under Bill Clinton with migrants there pending repatriation to their own countries. You don't have to worry about
Staging
losing control of them or
the holding
even
ground.
escaping the base, as happened in Arkansas in 1980 at Fort Chaffee when Governor Clinton, or Bill Clinton was the governor, and we put the Mariel boat lift people there. So I think it's a very smart idea to put some of these migrants who are pending repatriation to their home countries in Guantanamo Bay. It's kind of like what our Secretary Rubio discussed with President Bukele of El Salvador over the weekend. He's very pro-American. He's been supportive of the United States. He's willing to take foreign nationals as well pending repatriation. I think that's something we should consider as well. It's just an example of the kind of creative, unconventional thinking that the president has brought back to Washington to serve American interests, to get dangerous and violent migrants off of our streets and back to their home countries.
Okay, guys, hold on one second. All right, so they're using it as a holding ground for people that are pending repatriation. Okay. Now, there are some places, again, that will not take their people back. What happens to them? I mean, I guess my question is still not being answered because I understand the concept of like the humanitarian nature. Yes, these people put themselves in this exact position by coming illegally into the United States of America. I understand that. But the next thing here is that what happens when their country will take them back? Like the concept of like being made stateless is tricky. Okay. That is also not our problem, but we have to be human in some instances, right? And I think this is one of these instances, like, what do we do with them? Hopefully we could find a place that will take these people, other than the United States of America, obviously, right? But I'm not sure that people should have life sentences, let's say, specifically if they are just being held and they are not criminals, like they're not like mass criminals, let's say. Like they didn't commit a secondary offense is what I mean, right? Like the ones who are like deleting people and trafficking and things like that, right? I'm referring to the people that came in and they were caught basically as collateral, all right? And now they're being held here waiting for repatriation. But what happens if that country that they're initially from will not take them back? Where do they go? That's my only question. I just need an answer, and I can't find the answer anywhere. So if anyone actually knows the answer to that question, please help me out in the comments. I read all the comments. I just generally don't respond to everyone because I can't. I don't have that much time in a day.
I saw some of that possibly happening in Denver. Also wanted to ask you about Army recruiting. This has been an issue that's been a real concern for America. The Post from the U.S. Army said that they've had their most productive December in 15 years by enlisting 346 soldiers daily into the world's greatest army. Our recruiters have one of the toughest jobs, inspiring the next generation to serve. Congratulations and keep up the great work. What do you put that down to?
Well, Dana, I don't think it's rocket science. It's the Trump effect. You had some number of young men and women who didn't want to join the Army over the last 4 years under Joe Biden and Christine Wormuth, the former Secretary of the Army, when they thought it was more focused on wokeness and DEI and climate change. That's not why young men and women join our military. They do it because they love the country, they want to serve in uniform, they want to serve a cause greater than themselves next to battle buddies who are going to be friends for a lifetime. That's clearly what's on the mind of these new recruits who are joining since President Trump won re-election, and I believe that it's going to continue to improve in the future. Now, that's not the only reason.
No.
You know, there are still issues with getting kids medical waivers if they need it for a long ago injury, or just processing them through the initial entry system more quickly, and the Army can do a better job of that, and I've discussed that with Pete Hegseth and Dan Driscoll, the incoming Secretary of the Army. But I think these numbers put paid to the idea that it was some overall economic condition or competitive pay with the private sector. It was that a lot of young people didn't want to join the Army with Joe Biden as the commander-in-chief.
Yeah,
Okay.
Senator Tom.
Like, that's an interesting way of putting it, but no, that's not it, bro. I mean, I hear what you're saying, bro. I respect the super, even though he's not trying to be politically correct, let's say, but he is definitely being politically correct. He is speaking with all of his many, many years of media training. Bro, listen, do you realize and recognize how veterans are treated in the United States of America, bro? I'm one of these people who are absolutely in the camp of saying that if you fight for me, you should never pay taxes again a day of your life, bro. Like, you should have a special card when you go into every single store, all right, and it blatantly says no taxes, tax exempt on everything. I do not think that if you fight for me, if you fight for this country, you should not be paying taxes. Okay, and there should be not a single thing in the world that makes as much sense as that. Well, that's not what I'm saying. Let me rephrase this here. All right, I don't think that there should be such thing as homeless veterans. What even is that, bro? Okay, that's absolutely crazy. Now, is this the Trump effect? Okay, call it whatever you want to call it, bro, right? But let's just say this here. Anyone that will actually fight for veterans, and I mean fight for them, like they fought for us, okay? Anyone that says that, not saying that they're going to absolutely, completely, actually do anything to actually rectify any of my qualms, let's say. But anyone that acts like it or portrays as if that's what they're doing, that I think more people will be joining because they're like, you know what, I think we're good as veterans. We're not going to be like all of the other many veterans that have existed in this country going all the way back to the Civil War or WW1, 2, et cetera, right? We have a track record, and our track record is not good with treating veterans accordingly. Yes, but you can call it the Trump effect, call it whatever you want to call it, bro. But again, all someone has to do is say that they're going to do something that is meaningful and beneficial to veterans, and these individuals will go and fight for them. Okay, you want to fix the low recruitment numbers? That's how you do it, bro. Okay, actually do something. We are the richest country on the history of Earth. Okay, why are veterans homeless? Why are veterans struggling to eat food, bro? Why are some of them on the corners like basically losing their mind due to PTSD, bro? Why are they doing that? Fix veteran affairs, bro. Listen. I'm sorry, this had nothing to do with it. We're here though. I just don't like that craziness, bro. But all right, guys, listen. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. I'm sorry for going on a little rant here, but. Guys, how dare you? All right, but either way, I'll catch you guys later. The fact that you just made it to the end of the video says a whole lot, actually. We have a couple other channels. MrLboyd Music, MrLboyd Movie Reacts, along with MrLboyd Discusses, where I just generally speak about the things that specifically matter to me. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.